ladies, welcome to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Esther, and we are here today to craft with you.
Woo!
Fall is upon us, and we are so excited. We love fall, both of us do. It's just so beautiful, and I love crafting. Amanda, you know, she'll do it. She'll do it. We're just going to do some really simple, really inexpensive fall DIYs that you can put anywhere in your home, and they will look beautiful and not take you a lot of time to do. So we're super excited. Hopefully you enjoy it, and let's jump right in. So for our first craft, we are making a really cute banner, a leaf banner. So we found these leaves at the Dollar Tree, and we got one package of each color. There are 10 in a package. We put them in separate piles, and then we use this twine that we also found at the dollar store as the string to put the leaves on. So we started by measuring it out as long as we wanted the banner to be and cutting it. And then we started out by tying the leaves on. We did find a better way to do this, which you'll see in just a minute here. But we wanted to see how far apart we wanted the leaves to be, so we measured and we decided that 7 inches was a good spot to put them.
So as you can see, we got a little tangled up there. And we decided the next one would be done a little differently. Oh, yeah, we marked them. We marked every 7-inch spot so we would know exactly where we wanted the leaves to go. Then Esther wound up all of the extra string so we wouldn't have a tangled mess again. And we looped it through. Perfect. And continued that on, looping all of the leaves through. Esther decided to do this way instead.
It worked better to tie the knot first and then slide the leaf through.
Awesome, all of the leaves are on, and now we are going to write the letters. Esther started by using a Sharpie to write them out, and then I got the paint ready to paint over it.
And we decided that we wanted to spell "It's fall, y'all," so we did one leaf before and one leaf in between each of the letters so that you could see where the words were separated. And I used a brown Sharpie like Amanda said, and then she went over it with brown paint just to make it easier to see. And we just used brown acrylic paint, which worked great. Once we were done with all of that, we took some of this raffia that is also from the Dollar Tree. So this entire craft cost less than $5. And we made a bow for each of the leaves that had a letter on it. We're just showing you one here.
Perfect. So once the paint was dry and the bows were done, we glued them all on to the top of the leaves.
And that's what it looks like.
Alright, so the next craft here are these cute little jars that were from the Dollar Tree. So it came in a 2-pack, 2 jars for $1.
Actually, they were from the Target dollar spot. They were 2 for $3, so $1.50 each.
Oh,
but they do have some cute ones just like it at the Dollar Tree.
So we started by painting the lids and then added some fun festive leaves and greenery and pumpkins to make it exactly how we wanted it.
And I would recommend that you actually spray paint these, especially if you're using these red and orange colors on top of blue, because these were blue to begin with and they were really hard to paint over. We did multiple coats and still ended up spray painting the red one, and it just worked a lot better. So then we added these really cute lights. One was pumpkins and one was leaves, and they were both from the Dollar Tree as well. Just making sure that we wrapped it around the battery, and then any blank spot we just kind of put towards the back so you couldn't see it. Then we decided to tie a ribbon around each one and add a little bow. So that one's actually mine. I love orange and black and buffalo plaid. And then the leaf one is Amanda's. So we did them a little bit differently, but there's so many ways you can do these. You really could do anything with them. And that little pink thing on my finger, you can get a 3-pack of those for $1 from the Dollar Tree. And they're just little silicone finger covers that you could use for hot glue or kind of as a thimble for sewing, or really just anything you want to do to protect your fingers.
So she added some cute little bows on top, and that is that. How cute are those? Next up, we are taking these pumpkin signs we got from Dollar Tree, and we're taking the embellishments off and filing off the words to make our own sign, to paint over and make our own sign. And Esther is using a little tray, and she's painting that to give it some fun color and dimension, make it look more like real wood. And this will be a cute little like center display piece or shelf display piece. So she's adding in some darker colors on top of the light brown, again to just kind of make it look a little bit more realistic, add some dimension and depth in there.
So I just did this to the entire tray and then just kind of blended it in until I got that wood look that I wanted. It was a wood, it is real wood, it is from the Dollar Tree. So while Amanda was filing down that pumpkin, which she thought was cute as is, and I did too, I did that. And then she went ahead and painted that pumpkin white. We're going to do another fun Halloween craft with one of these pumpkins. But we just love the look of the white pumpkins. They're so neutral and you can really keep them up for several months. So she painted that whole thing, and then we got this fabulous little heat drying tool that works amazing. We use it for all of the painting projects that we do, and it just makes it a lot faster. So I did glue the raffia bow that came on it back on, but then I decided after that I didn't love it, so I took it back off and added some greenery underneath, and then made my own new bow to put back on top.
All right, so here she is making the bow that she wanted with the twine.
I added some twine to the raffia so that it would be dual color.
So cute. And again, there's so many different ways you can kind of customize the greenery and the embellishments to really make it your own. So now she's using just some Scrabble pieces. She's gluing that on. Spells out fall. So fun.
If you are ever at a garage sale or a thrift store and you see an old Scrabble game, buy it. You will not regret it. You can use those tiles for anything. So then we wanted to add a bow to the tray just for some little extra. Amanda kind of went with a leaf theme for her crafts, and this was going to go in her house. So we added some ribbon that we found at the Dollar Tree with little leaves on it and made a little bow and just glued it right to the end of that tray. Everything we're using other than those Scrabble tiles are from the dollar store. So I wanted this to be able to stand up in there. So I grabbed some of those Jenga blocks from the dollar store, those little ones, and just glued them together to make a little bit of a stand for it, and then glued it right to the back. And you'll see in a minute that I end up gluing that as well to the tray, just so that it stays in place where I want it.
Awesome. And now she is adding in a lot of greenery and leaves, again, just to kind of make it look festive and fun. She glues all of these pieces into place so it stays, there she is gluing that down. So everything will stay put, stay in place exactly how we want it to look.
And I glued some of that behind just to hide the stand so you wouldn't see it.
So here she is, just gluing that all down. She added some pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. One big one there, and then you'll see her gluing down a few smaller ones here. Looks like a little pumpkin patch. So cute.
So for the next sign, we took this adorable sign from the Dollar Tree, and I would strongly recommend that you do not use your fingers to pull up the leaf, the metal leaf, because as you'll see the rest of the video, I have a band-aid on my finger from a pretty deep cut that I got from that. So don't make that mistake, use a pliers or something, but we just pulled that off, and then Amanda went ahead and sanded this down, and we ended up using a piece of sandpaper. You can get, I think it's 25 in a pack for $1 from the Dollar Tree, and then we wiped it off to get all that glitter and extra residue off before we painted it.
All right. Then we added that same fun white kind of chalk paint.
And that's Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster.
Over the top of the orange again. This one was going in Esther's house, and she really likes the white and black for her decor. So we painted that and dried it. And you can see she's painting the stem black. We did have to sandpaper it down because as it dried, it dried a little bit thicker in some areas. So we sandpapered it down and then wiped it all off to give it a nice, smooth, clean finish.
And then I went in with some light brown acrylic paint just to add dimension and make it look more like a real pumpkin. And I just went around the natural spots where the bumps kind of in the pumpkin would be. So I did the edges first, and then I went into the middle as well. And I actually used that same brush that we had used for the white paint, and I kept the white paint on it so that it would blend out really nicely. And we absolutely love how this turned out. We're going to have to make one for Amanda's house because it's just so cute, and it looks so realistic. Those white pumpkins, they are white, but they do have brown on them. So we wanted it to look a little more realistic, and I think that this worked out so nicely.
So then we used some vinyl to make our own letters and use some transfer paper to put it onto the pumpkin. Very carefully pulling that transfer paper off, and you'll see here in just a second that it says Home Sweet Home, and we have a fun little surprise for the letter O. So Esther's measuring it all up to make sure everything's straight and it looks good. We definitely recommend, if you want it to look the best, to use a ruler. Really get that straight edge.
And if you don't have a Cricut or a Silhouette machine, you can totally hand letter this or use like letter stickers from the Dollar Tree or from a craft store. You don't have to have a special machine to do this. We just happen to have one, so that's what we used. But again, you could definitely use Sharpies or black paint or kind of whatever you have on hand to make this your own. So then we went in with a box cutter or like a X-Acto knife, also from the Dollar Tree. It comes with 6 blades. I really love it. And we cut a foam sparkly pumpkin in half and glued it on there for the O, and then stuck the stem back into the top. And we already love it, but then of course we had to add some buffalo check ribbon because it's going in my house, and I just love it. I just tied a little bow and cut the edges to be at a point and glued that on, and then we just stuck the original string back in, and it already has a little plastic piece to keep it on there, so we just loved how that turned out. So cute. I already love it. I already have it up. It's one of my favorite pieces.
All right, so next up we tried this fun craft using books, and these books were from the Dollar Tree, and you just flip it. You need to make sure you find a book that has white on the back of the cover. So you're gonna flip the covers around and fold along the creases to give it a nice crisp, clean edge, and the white side facing out. Perfect, just like so. And then again, Esther has her vinyl machine, but you could totally hand letter these, paint them, or find stickers to do it as well. And we spelled out it's pumpkin spice season. We're so excited for pumpkin spice season.
We're obsessed.
All right, and so then you can put any saying there that you want that makes it your own. So then we took some of that same twine that was in that 3-pack from Dollar Tree, and used the orange and white to wrap around, hold those together, made a nice tight bind. And now we're gonna go in and add some embellishments, some greenery, some leaves to really make it pop.
The leaves are from the Dollar Tree and they're actually really pretty and good quality. And then we got some lamb's ear from Walmart. And one pick is $2, but I mean, you only use a few leaves at a time. So, and then we found that pumpkin at the Dollar Tree as well. We loved it just how it was, so we just left it. And it's such a simple and easy craft, and it just looks so nice.
All right, so next up we're doing a little plate stand. So we started by cleaning off both pieces and then went ahead and was using paint to paint both of these pieces. You will see we decided to also spray paint them just to give it the look that we wanted. But so the plate is white with that white chalk paint, and then the holder we did black.
It's just a candle holder and a plate from the Dollar Tree. So then we went out and spray painted it. You can see that's what we're doing, where we're drying the spray paint now. So this is actually not the black, it's a dark charcoal chalk paint spray paint, and then we used a linen white chalk paint for the plate. And then I just went around with a brush and some black paint and just dry brushed over those little kind of divots, those little bumps in there, because I wanted those to stand out. It took me a while to kind of get it to look the way I wanted it to. So you won't see all of that because it did take me a little while, but I just really wanted it to have that look. And then I found out that a sponge really worked better for the look I was going for, so I switched to that, and that gave me what I wanted. And I kind of wanted it to have that aged look and just really look imperfect. So,
all right, so we used hot glue gun to glue the candlestick holder onto the bottom of the plate, again just to make sure it was secure, wasn't going anywhere. And ta-da, that is what it looks like. So now we're going in and adding some fun decorative stuff. So nice orange bow, and there you'll see how she kind of cuts the ends to give it that fun design. And a nice sparkly orange pumpkin. That is so cute. That was from the Dollar Tree. And now we're going in and adding some greenery, some leaves, just kind of situating it how we want it. We decided not to glue any of these pieces down so that you could reuse the tray and the stand for any season, and just move things, take them off, and reuse it again.
You absolutely could, and what I think I'm going to do, because it's not staying on super well, this was Amanda's idea, to just glue those greenery pieces to the bottom of the pumpkin. So then that way I can take the entire piece off. But that's what it looks like. We just threw in some greenery and flowers, and it just looks so cute.
All right, next up, cute little coffee cup from
Dollar Tree.
And again, something that's super cute already just by itself, but we wanted to make it special for fall. So we went ahead and we painted the cup white all over, and then colored the sleeve the tan color here, and we did need to do like 3 coats over each of those to really cover up the color and the words that were underneath it. So using that fun dry tool between each coat.
So then we went over the edges with a thin brush and some black acrylic paint, and we kind of wanted it to have like that almost cartoon look to it, so imperfect and kind of, you know, just thicker border lines and things like that. But again, you could leave it as it is. And then we drew a little lip where the mouthpiece would be, and then we took this chalk marker and we ended up drawing some squares on the cup. We copied a Starbucks cup because we wanted it to look like a pumpkin spice latte. So we drew some squares with the paint, and then we took that chalk marker and we wrote PSL on it for pumpkin spice latte, and drew a little pumpkin, and it just looks so cute. And then lastly, we glued some of that orange ribbon around the top, and it looks so cute, and it already came with a stand, so we could just set it right up on our little shelf.
All right, next up, we took a cutting board, plastic cutting board from Dollar Tree, and we decided to tape it. We would recommend you don't tape it. It actually ended up pulling up some of the paint, so just ignore us spending the time taping it. And then we painted the inside black. So again, if you use a nice flat brush and are careful, you can probably get a nice clean line without using the tape. So use that nice heat tool again, and I think I needed to do 3 layers of the black paint to really cover it up well. Now you'll see here as we pulled the tape off, again, some of that paint did pull, so we had to go in and fix it. So we're cleaning up those edges just with a damp paper towel to get any black scuffs off. And now going in with that nice flat brush carefully along the edge and filling in where it needs to be.
That's also from the dollar store, and it's honestly a fabulous brush. Don't mind my voice, you guys. I'm deep in allergy season right now, so I apologize. I sound pretty rough. Yep, just did those nice clean edges with the brush and then dried it. And then we took the other half of that pumpkin that we had used for the home sign and we glued that right at the top for a cute little detail. And I think this looks so high-end when it's done, you guys. It does not look like an inexpensive craft from the dollar store, but it really is. Then we glued on a couple little leaves on top of the pumpkin and took a piece of vinyl that we had again printed off, but again you could hand letter this with chalk paint that says Hello Pumpkin, and just put that right on there.
The transfer paper did pull up the black chalk paint a little bit, so again we had to go in and fix that. Here we're applying the Mod Podge. If you are going to use the transfer paper, you could do this step before you apply the vinyl, but if you're painting, you can definitely do it just after too. So we're drying up that Mod Podge and adding in some of our, again, embellishments and decorative stuff. Cute little bow, some greenery, and there it is.
So adorable, you guys. And then here's the entire collection all together. It looks so beautiful. Oh, we love it so much. It's so festive. We cannot wait for fall, you guys.
Don't forget to tell us which one is your favorite, or if you try any, let us know which ones you're going to try.
Yes, we want to see, we want to hear about your crafts as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. We had a great time with you today. Hopefully you got some great ideas and feel inspired to get your craft on for fall.
If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends and family. Thanks.
Bye.